Does anyone have a question? I mean, there's something I can talk about. Somebody sent me an email today about, the difficult time they're having and what they're going through. And the only response I can make to that is what I told the person. I also wrote it in my book that I'm working upon. That the fastest way to God is through the den of dragons. That we're given all of that work to do on ourselves and almost what seems to be sometimes even demonic and crazy, but it's energy. And it's energy that manifests inside us because we have yet to build a system that can transform that energy into a spiritual life. So it's just reminding us, it's like in every great religion, it's that way. It's, Christ spending 40 days and nights in the desert, struggling with the devil, and the Buddha fasting for 40 days. I mean, it's always that way. Using, whatever manifests inside us as a reason to grow and not a reason to defeat ourselves. And we all are capable of doing that. There's only that thing in us that just gives up. No, why me? Why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? It happens to everybody. Nobody belongs to an exclusive club when it comes to intensity and suffering and difficulty in their life. There is an exclusive club of people that manage to learn how to use it to grow spiritually, that manage to transform it into energy that is a positive energy that helps them to grow every day of their life. And the truth is, you don't have to look for things like, that kind of difficulty. It really finds everybody. It bites everybody in the butt. Whether they're doing spiritual work or they're not doing spiritual work. It reminds me of that painting I once had, that Zen painting of a staff. And then there was calligraphy on both sides of this. Those who are on the path get hit with the staff, and those that are not on the path get hit with the staff. So it depends on the choice you make. You want to suffer consciously or suffer unconsciously. And then we can use whatever it is that happens to us is fuel to help us grow spiritually. There are no negative things in the world, just as there really are no positive things in the world. It's all manufactured by the mind, what's positive and negative. It gets back to a simple reality. What helps us get closer to God? What do we need to work with to get us closer to God? Does anyone have a question? It's the reason the soul is born. The soul takes on the dressings of a body. And the soul comes here to learn how to transform. That's the lesson of being born here, how to transform difficulty and suffering into spiritual enlightenment. That's the reason.
Stuart, I have a question, Bob. Think.
Yes, Bob.
You talk about what that means to suffer consciously.
Look, I've been through so much shit in my life, from much before I met Rudy, of deep unhappiness, deep depression, being incapable of functioning. And at one point in my life, I was ready to put myself in a sanitarium. I mean, this is when I met Rudy. I was ready to just say, well, the hell with this. I just need And then I learned how to use my mind and my breath to transform that suffering into joy, into love, to happiness. And although the suffering went on and the difficulty went on, and it still goes on today, consciousness enables you to transform it into what gives you a spiritual life. And then there's the results. You live in a much better way. There's more joy, there's more love. You don't spend your day beating yourself up. You know how to fix all that stuff. It's conscious suffering, using what you've learned to transform difficulty and pain and unhappiness into a spiritual life. It's a kind of alchemy. You're taking all the garbage and making it into gold. And I think that's a really important thing for not only me to learn, I think everybody needs to learn how to do this. Otherwise, we are just the slaves of our suffering, of pain, of unhappiness. And I don't think any of us want to live that way. And yet there is another way, the other side of the staff. The things you learn in life that you can use to transform the pain, the unhappiness, the heaviness inside, into lightness of being, into joy, into love, to a spiritual life. Does anyone else have a question? I would like to.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Bob. Look, tomorrow I'm going to have an operation. Who the hell wants to have an operation? But I also know that it's going to be a transitional period for me into something much deeper, more powerful. Recovering from that operation is going to force me to go very deep in myself and to change and grow inside instead of, allowing it to just take my life apart. Look, some of the things, look, I was in an airplane crash with a person who I loved more than anyone in the world, who saved my life, gave me my life. He died in the airplane crash. I was trying to, breathe into him to get him, pound his chest, breathe in to get him to live again. He was gone. I could have spent the rest of my life, being upset about that. And Rudy would have never forgave me, ever. What did you learn from me? How can you use it to grow spiritually? How can you develop your life? Don't wallow in, the tragedies of life, the traumas of life, but use them to grow. Does anyone have a question? Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question. It's Lynn.
Yes.
A couple times this month, I've experienced what I think it seems like a download of powerful Shakti coming down through me. And at first, I want to just, it's shocking. So, and it's very, very strong. And I start to tense up. But then I tell myself to relax and absorb it. Is that what I should do?
Yes, dear.
Okay.
You spend too much time in your life beating yourself up. Now it's time for a change. Relax, let it work on you. Cosmic energy is very powerful energy. And we are in no position to determine how it will come to us. But we are in the position to truly relax inside, draw it into the chakra system, let it work on us, let it help us. That we can do. We can't determine the way it's going to manifest. But we can use it because we have training in a very deep form of meditation. So yes, that's the answer. Relax.
Trying.
Easiest way to survive. Just relax and let it work on you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, I'm not sure when the next class will be. It may be a week, maybe 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, but I certainly will notify you all. Also, if anyone's interested, there's still a couple of spaces open for the retreat. And, you should get in touch with Jennifer if you want to come and take care of all the, financial stuff and all the obligations involved. She's a very big help and she will go out of her way to help you. Okay, if there are no more questions, then God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all.
Good luck with the operations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Blessings.